What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Season Gaming Bitcast, episode 365. It is another wintry Sunday here in the Midwest, joined by our usual cast of characters post the Game Awards 2025 this week, which is obviously going to be our big topic. But we are here. We are back. The guys are ready to roll. Hogue has put away the weaponry, but he is back and ready to go. He was threatening us before the show, just so you're both, everyone's aware.
It's ridiculous.
Don't talk about Expedition 33 in front of me.
All right, AI, that's the photo you need to use.
Yeah.
How we doing?
I'm good. I'm excited.
Yeah. What side's warm right now? Is one side warm? Cold? How are you feeling?
You're bringing in all this pre-show stuff. It doesn't make any sense to anybody. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm ready to talk about video games. Definitely.
All right. Mr. Ty Guy, you feeling all right? You were actually here before the show started this week. That was cool.
That's true. Look, man, I got a busy life. Lots of stuff going on. You wouldn't understand.
No, I certainly wouldn't.
Yeah. I'm good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling focused and alert.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm taking my vitamin B12.
I don't know. Well, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. It's obviously this week is going to be the primary focus. It's going to be the Game Awards and kind of all the reveals and announcements. I've got a few other things to touch on as well. Of course, before we jump into all of that, we got to catch up with the community. So let's do that. We had things flying in very early this morning. So,
oh my goodness.
We got the legend Vintage Willow gifting 5 SG memberships like nearly an hour before we even went live. So thank you for that, Willow. That's amazing as always. Certainly appreciate it. And I'll talk a little more about some charity stuff we're going to do for Extra Life next week as well, which this will contribute to. So thank you for that. Alex is in the house. Let's kick it off, Travis.
Oh, okay. I think I'm going to help out here with some punctuation. All hail the king, the first of its name, Expedition 33.
Alex, if you can't even use its full name, how am I supposed to give respect on this?
E33. Maybe he's just the 33rd of his line
of ease.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I'd have to do the math or the arithmetic properly, but I think Expedition 33 is the 68th of its name.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Look, like the big, obviously big winner. I think that's not really a surprise, but
it is not a surprise.
Yeah,
biggest surprise of the night was Did you guys see the purely voted by popular one, the Player's Choice or whatever?
Yes,
was like
give me the gotchas. Give me all the gotchas.
It was some mobile game, and then I immediately was like, okay, how have I not heard more about this game? And then I went and saw that there was a big bot fight online, people AI just creating fake emails and voting, and that the one with the best bot creating scam won. And I was like, oh cool. So they need to fix that next year. That's a pretty funny one.
I mean, that's been going on at the Game Awards. They need to fix that, is maybe the motto of the event. But I did think it was pretty strong from what I saw this year. Now, I said last week, I didn't watch this live. Maybe it's just stronger if you're not looking directly at it. Like you don't look straight at the sun. I don't know. But yes, I checked in after my work event for about 45 minutes to an hour. Would have been the third hour of the show. And was immediately greeted with just the worst Street Fighter movie, cast presentation. And I remembered immediately why I didn't want to watch this thing. I stuck through another couple of commercials and trailers, and that was great. But then I said, I'm going to bed. Went to bed, read the articles the next morning, looked at all the trailers that I thought looked interesting from the descriptions in those articles, and said, that was much better than sitting there for 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you logged on probably at the low point of the show, but I actually didn't think it was that bad. I was expecting it to be 4 or 5 hours like last time. It was shorter. I felt like there was less like people just staying on stage, like talking a little like listlessly, just like not really have anything to say or show. They still did the thing that I absolutely hate, which is like bundle all of the award give outs.
Yeah. It's like
yes,
rapid
during
fire
my drop
awards.
During my drop in, I did see Expedition 33 win Best RPG, and I was like, all right, it's going to be that kind of night. Fine.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it, of course. Yeah, I think the weird thing, obviously Alex is joking. We've talked in our channels about this whole debate everyone has, right? But I think what became really weird, which his comment kind of calls to, is it became like an us versus them mentality with this game. You know, and I it's really annoying to see, to be honest with you. But
the online sometimes just metastasizes into bad things. And like, I liked Expedition 33. I really did. I enjoyed my time with that game, but it was evident minutes after the game released that it was going to be this kind of, this is the first video game ever created, and it changed my life and my family's life, and it should be regaled with all that gaming can offer it. And it's like, no, it's not really that. So I wind up getting online and saying, here are some of the issues I have with it. A lot of people have issues with me because of that. That's totally deserved. That's what the conversation is supposed to be about. But yes, there is a zealotry. There is a cultishness to the fandom for Expedition 33 that absolutely puts me off of it. And I have to remind myself that I actually liked the core product when I watch this online.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, all right, Alex.
Go ahead, Travis. Go ahead.
That's okay. We could talk about. We're going to talk about the awards later, but I think that's a little unfair to the fandom of Expedition 33. I think a lot of it is warranted, and I don't know. Just talking to people who really like that game, it seems like there's a lot of passion around it, and people genuinely like it. I don't think it's culty. I think people are passionate about games that they like, and I think this is a game that they like, deservedly so, right? So,
okay.
If you don't think that there's some weird stuff around Expedition 33, I would offer that you haven't been online enough talking about this game.
Or maybe I've been online just enough. Such a thing as being online too much, of course.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it, of course. Let's get these other things out of the way here. Tao
Zochi 727 $10 super chat. Sup chat, sup Bitcasters. The Blue Bomber is back in 2027. I guess Star Force Collection is next year to hold us over. Capcom, please remember you have other IPs, not just Resident Evil. Thank you.
Now, Tao, Pragmata looks awesome. Monster Hunter Story 3 looks great. Capcom is doing us solids all across the board here.
Capcom's been good. I think
they also announced they're going to develop a bunch of new games for their IPs, including Ace Attorney, which is exciting.
Yes, Ace Attorney has been described as a core pillar franchise now, so that's news.
Yeah, as it should. Deservedly so, once again.
I'm just looking forward to the Ace Attorney fighting game.
Well, they're already in a fighting game. Phoenix Wright's in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Well, he can have his own now.
Yeah. He throws paper at people and points at them as his attack. And then Maya flies.
I threw an objection pillow at one of my daughters once, so there you go.
Nice to hear about the harm that happens in the Hogue household. It's really unacceptable. Put the knife away, Hogue. Why do you have it again?
I think it feels like Capcom is riding on the success of Resident Evil and Monster Hunter to actually put that towards other things now, which is good. I hope they continue to do that. I'm ready for Dino Crisis to come back like others. We'll see. But it's cool to see Mega Man coming back. I continue to be, I'm someone who grew up, I'm sure Hogue you did too, with Mega Man. I liked Mega Man. I played a lot of those games growing up. I continue to be a little bewildered by the obsession with Mega Man. But that's just me. I don't hold those games to that high a degree as others, but the community feedback on Mega Man returning is wild. So obviously seem to be in the minority.
No, I think it's good that Mega Man's coming back. There's no question. I think the reason it is so highly thought of is that nobody really picked up the Mega Man Gauntlet. Like, it looked for a while like Shovel Knight was going to do that, right? Shovel Knight is a Mega Man formula game. And then, as we saw from the articles that we talked about a couple weeks ago, Yacht Club just didn't go that direction, didn't really take Shovel Knight to that place. So there hasn't really been anyone that's just doing this kind of 2D platforming with the dynamic bosses and picking up skills and powers that Mega Man specializes in. So I'm excited for its release as well. I hope it's great.
Yeah, for sure. Tal says Capcom puts so much into Resident Evil, which is why he says that. And yeah, I mean, they do, right? Like Resident Evil is their giant pillar, but I think they kind of have to, right? It's their biggest IP. It makes an absurd amount of money.
You don't think Monster Hunter is their biggest IP now?
I feel like it's
overall IP? No, I think Resident Evil's bigger IP overall. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Like if you're including merch, movies, licensing, I think Resident Evil's still bigger.
That's a fair.
But I don't. But I don't know. I know game sales
these days.
Yeah, wasn't Monster Hunter? Oh, I forget all the Monster Hunters. The last one, World. Isn't World like one of their best-selling games of all time too?
Yeah. World was. I think Wild took a step back, right?
Yeah, from what I've seen. Although the new update for Wild just came out. I don't know. I'm not a big Monster Hunter player, but I don't know if that's rejuvenated the fan base or anything. See. But regardless, Tal, thank you for the support in the super chat. He also follows up with this.
Snow, and more snow. We need a white Christmas. Agree to disagree.
Awesome.
I'm not about Christmas or snow here.
We are not going to get rid of our snows here in Southeast Michigan probably until April. So it'll be a white Christmas here.
That's normal for you guys. Yeah. Tal, thank you as always, my friend. And we got, I'll let you say that, Travis.
Dr. Eldon Tyrell Rosen, 926, $5 super chat. Looking forward to Ace Combat 8. Just got Ace Combat 7, and it's great.
It is great. That's actually on my list of things that I was most excited about coming out of the Game Awards, Dr. Eldon Tyrell Rosen 926. I am really excited about the return of Ace Combat. I think they do some of the best soap opera military stories in video games. They always remind me of Star Wars, Ace Combat 7 especially. So I'm really excited about playing this one. I was not expecting an announcement for the Ace Combat series, so that's always cool to see.
Nice. I know that's a big franchise. It's got a big community behind it. So good stuff.
Make good games.
Appreciate that today. Yeah, thank you for the super chat. All right. Of course, we've got Tide's picks as well, which, here we are.
I'm sure I look fantastic.
Let's see that jawline. Oh, boy. Is this supposed to be us baking?
I would presume so. I'm not sure why. I'm sure Tide will tell us.
Ains, it looks like you discovered something horrible on your computer. The way you're sat.
Yeah, I don't know who put that there.
Yeah, you opened a portal to the Lovecraftian horrors.
Wait, we have to figure out the prompt mechanism here.
The prompt is
sad.
We're sad.
We're scared. We're scared about what we're baking. We're saddened by the baking.
Ains looks like he's horrified by what he created. Hogue looks like he's praying to God to stop what's happening to him. And I just look like I got fired as a line chef, which is a line cook. Very different emotions, but all negative. I think we can agree.
Tide's in the chat saying it was in honor of the cook-off to come. So it's essentially the AI thinks it's not going to be a successful cook-off.
That's interesting. Well,
so my face is genuine then.
There you go. Yeah. I like that the photo of the kitchen looks like, I don't know, it's very Clover Pit.
It's like a tool shop.
It's like baking pit. I think it's supposed to be a kitchen though.
Hang on.
I know.
Yeah.
Hang on. Baking pit. We need to trademark this. This is our idea. That could totally work.
Yeah, that totally could. I mean, really anything in a pit. Like, do you think the floor opens, Hogue, if you fail?
Yeah, of course. There's an oven down there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You fall into a little fire.
You fall into the next guy's baking pit.
That's right.
So we're doing Bake X Pit.
Well,
it's Ball X Pit. Clover Pit is just Clover Pit.
Yeah, Clover Pit.
Yeah, I was thinking Bake X Pit. You could kind of play it that way.
Bit Pit
that also could work. That's an interesting, also very Demon Barber of Fleet Street, huh?
Yeah, it's the next one.
Yeah. I like it. Baking Pit. Let's do it, Hogue. Start a studio.
Baking Pit Studios. Todd, thank you very much.
No, you don't name the studio after your product.
Why not?
It's like you've never talked to a corporate lawyer.
Let's live a little. Live a little, Hogue. Go all in on Baking Pit. Honestly, Baking Pit is also a great name for a development studio, to be honest.
Baking Pit. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of works.
It works.
There's some bakers, right? Isn't there the something bakers? Is a
game bakers.
Game bakers. Yeah, there you go. What are they baking? Games. Could have guessed that one.
All right. Thank you as always, everyone. Let's jump over to what we've been playing. We'll keep this a little shorter today, obviously, as we got a lot of games to run through on the Game Awards. I'll kick us off because mine's going to be quick. So mine, I just want to update, well, not update, but been playing updates. So Final Season 9 came out to start of Year 3. It's a big update, and Battlefield has their winter event going on right now. So I've been in, multiplayer land for the most part. Did finish Yote, like I said, went back to Absolum a bit. Started Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Very cool game so far. I need to play more of that. Yeah. But I have just yesterday or 2 days ago gotten back, as I said I would, to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So
you got the DLCs to go through now too, right?
Yeah, I gotta finish the main story and do the DLCs, and that's going to be my game through the holiday to 100% or close to 100% because I'm fully back in. I'm fully vested. It took me about 2 hours to figure out the controls and what the hell I was doing in that world. And I had quests that were like, those quests in those games go on for a while, as some of them. So like I had some quests where I'd done like 8 steps.
You're on
and I was on step 9, and I'm like, oh shit, what decision do I make here? I forget what I was doing. So I sorted that out. I think I'm in a good place now. And man,
I'm worried
just
about
getting back into that game.
I'm worried I'm gonna forget how the combat worked because I remember that
I fought a dog and got hurt, so that's worrying. Yeah, I've got to figure out what I'm doing. But the the immersion once you get back into that game is just unmatched. It's fantastic. I was immediately like sucked back into it. So pumped about that. But that's about it on my side. So like I said, I'll keep it short today, but I'll pass it to you guys to see what you've been up to.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of Destiny. I'm gonna write the review for that today. So that'll be my Destiny allotment for the year.
Still enjoying it?
Yeah, for the most part. I will say it feels a little thin as an expansion. Like weirdly they added like an extraction shooter mode, which is sort of the main way you engage with the game this expansion. Like they have all the missions like during the story, they just like make you do more of that extraction mode, and then afterward they're like, now grind the extraction mode a lot. But it's a pretty well designed activity. They just make you do too much of it. And then yesterday, the new dungeon came out, which is basically like a mini raid with 3 people. And I did it solo, at least the first half of it. And I'm going to finish it today. But it's a pretty good one. It's got like very Star Warsy vibes. You're like getting on the Sparrow and racing around. And it kind of has that like Endor bike feel to it, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, it has some interesting ideas. But yeah, I'm gonna finish that up today. I've also started Expedition 33 again. I just started over because I was like, yeah, I want to experience it all at once. So I'm doing that. What else have I been playing? A little bit of Tarkov. They got their winter event going on. And then what else? Yeah, I'm just catching up on games. Like this is my last review for the year. Destiny 2 Renegades will be my 25th review for 2025. How appropriate. Next year I gotta get 26. Gotta get up there. After today, with the Destiny review wrapped, I'm basically just gonna be like full sprint mode for the next 2 weeks to just finish every game I am behind on, which I'm very excited about.
So, you have an interesting definition of the holidays, but I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a family, so that's what I do, baby. Just playing games, hanging out, being productive, hopefully. So
nice. On Expedition 33, you said you started over. How far are you? Do you know?
I met the girl.
Okay, yeah, early. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm early. I'm early.
It's not super long though. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to the fact that it's not super long. I like a knock it out in a couple play sessions type game. Expedition 33 feels like you could do it in a weekend if you're really focused.
Absolutely.
If you put in a lot of time, and depending, I did a bunch of the side content, did do it all, but did most of it, and I think my time's like 44 hours or something. So it's not crazy.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to do that, and then I'm probably gonna also finish Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'm like at least halfway through that. I mean, I gotta be.
That's what they say. That's how they get you.
Yeah. I mean, you get to the second map, it starts to feel like, all right, I can kind of tell where the story's going versus the first act where you're like, we're just out here having fun. There's not really a whole lot going on. We're just chilling. We're just hanging out with Henry. So yeah, things are feeling like they have a direction now in that game. But yeah, I've got this. Every time there's a game where I'm like, all right, I have to finish it, I put it on one of the Xbox or Steam like groups so that it'll just get like saved. And I looked at it and I was like, this is super doable. It's like 6 or 7 games. It's not that bad. So I'll be finishing those when I'm done with reviews.
Gotcha.
Because you got to eat your meat if you want dessert,
How you expect to eat your pudding if you don't eat your meat? That's a good idea, actually, because I stopped using my pins a while ago, but that's a good idea because I forget about games I want to go back to. So I
pin the priority backlog, and they're just all the games I didn't get to finish that I know everybody's going to be talking about. So hopefully by the time we meet next week, I'll have beaten several of these games. I'll definitely be through Expedition by then, so that'll be fun.
Cool. It's funny you mentioned Henry because I was chatting with some friends last night about KCD2, and Henry starting KCD1 is kind of this goofy, obviously blacksmith's son, kind of a pretty traditional story.
If I recall.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just love him as a character because you can kind of relate to him in ways you usually can't with some protagonists. And it's quite funny. And he's really well voice acted and everything.
Because he's a knucklehead, a ne'er-do-well.
Yeah, he's kind of
is it his lack of formal education that makes you find him
I appreciate all of that. Yeah. People need trades, peasant. You know what I mean?
You peasant.
Yes, that's fine. I am a peasant.
It's actually not that bad back then. Land owning poor, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's better than the landless poor.
The hired hands, yeah.
Yeah. Technically, the peasants owned more land than I do. So I'm actually doing significantly worse than a peasant.
You cretin.
Yeah. Those peasants had their own farms and shit. I don't got that. It's pretty bad out here.
Hogue, what you been up to?
Well, I'm debating whether to correct Travis on his understanding of the feudal system, but I'm going to let that slide. I have been playing Octopath Traveler 0 and Metroid Prime 4, as we talked about, which are still excellent, and I'm enjoying the crap out of them. To that pile, I also added getting back into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, as I remembered how much I liked it. And I am hitting the DLCs at this point in time, which are stupid big, honestly. Ton of stuff to do.
Are they really?
Yeah, I mean, they're not like the game, but they're big for DLCs. So I've been enjoying those. And then, of course, the big news for me this week was that the Pallies are back. So people know how much time I put into Diablo 4. Now, with 100% more Paladin content, are you kidding me? I had to jump back in there. And there is nothing more fun than bashing people with your shield and then throwing a lightning hammer at their heads. So I am super excited about the addition of this class.
In real life as well.
That's what I've been playing.
I don't like that you brought that up because I opened BlizzardNet the other night and I had the install button highlighted and I'm like, I can't do this to myself.
Wild that you call it BlizzardNet, by the
way. BattleNet, sorry. If I get sucked back into that game, it's a problem. So I've refused to do that. I'm going to wait to play Paladin until April when Lord of Hatred comes out. I got to hold off.
You can wait, absolutely. But the Pallies are cool.
They
nice.
Are.
Well designed.
What's that?
What
I said, is it well designed, the class?
Yes, so far as I can tell. I mean, you have to kind of play them longer to see where there might be issues with a full design. But
of course, yeah.
Yes. The pathway I selected through the Paladin has been nothing but pleasure for me so far.
Okay. Awesome. I've been waiting for that class since launch. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have, which I feel like is why they put it out ahead of the expansion, because they're like, we don't want this to suck all the air out of the room with the expansion. Yeah, I actually have a little bit of news about Diablo 4, which, as you guys know, I'm sort of the ARPG guy at IGN right now, and
you've told us that.
Yeah, Diablo 4 is a game I'm going to have a lot more to say about. Got some coverage on it. I interviewed the dev team, specifically the narrative team, recently, that I'm probably going to have some content to put out for that. So yeah, there's should be a lot of news to come from that, and I know a lot I'm not allowed to talk about, so I will trickle that out as I'm allowed. But I'm very excited about that expansion, as well. Say, very excited.
Cool.
Yeah, I am too, because I feel like they stretched out this confrontation for a number of years, and they better not stretch it one more. So let's go, Mephisto.
Last one's called Vessel of Hatred. This one's called Lord of Hatred. So it seems a little difficult to avoid.
Yeah, it seems hard to get out of it, but
yeah. Well, I can tell you. Well, can I tell you that? No, the embargo's tomorrow. But I will starting tomorrow. I will be able to tell you more about kind of the direction of the story and the expansion, vis-a-vis the narrative team. So that'll be cool.
Okay,
that will be cool. I will look for that, because I'm ready. Mephisto's been laughing at me for years now. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready for that one too. And what a great
Diablo
trailer, by the way, too. Blizzard always crushes the trailers, but I've watched that trailer multiple times.
Did you see Mephisto make fun of Jeff Keighley at the Game Awards?
I did.
Unexpected cameo from the Dark Lord of Hatred, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
I want to give credit where I want to give credit where it's earned, and I thought that the production values, the setup that Keighley put together for this Game Awards, was the most impressive that I had seen.
It was pretty sick. Yeah.
It's a pretty cool cameo, though. Do you think Mephisto's on Cameo?
Yes, $5.
How much do you think it costs to get the Lord of Hatred?
$5 is a birthday.
To wish Billy a happy birthday. How many?
We're gonna have our Bitcast intro done by Lord of Hatred starting next week.
Oh, that'd be great, dude. Yeah, have a cameo. Have him.
I haven't talked to him in a little while, but I'll hit him up.
That's because you pissed him off. In my mind, for some reason, Ains is Bale in all this. I don't know why, but
that is weird. You know why? Because when I first started playing Diablo, obviously the original way back when, I named my character after Bale, and I had been Bale since the beginning of Diablo.
There you go. See, got it in one, guys.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Quick shout out to our good friend of the show and obviously SG crew, Sardinisms. She actually had surgery on her brain this week. So obviously was a time of great stress, anxiety, all the things you go through going into something like that. It's gone very well, thankfully. And so she's doing better. And, we've been talking to her obviously in the SG channel about this, but I just wanted to call this out. So shout out to Ray. And she has a question for us, which you guys can go ahead and answer. Expedition 33 or Octopath Traveler 0?
Well, this is interesting. I mean, Sard, call me old fashioned, but usually when I survive brain surgery, I say, let's just buy 2 games. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about it. I don't know. It's like you only live once, but you can buy twice.
Oh boy.
There you go. Nailed it.
What's funny is that I think the games I played immediately after my brain surgery were much simpler than Expedition 33 and Octopath Traveler. I was playing like Dredge and Diablo 4. But I do think these two can survive being played together simultaneously. They're different enough that I think you could buy them both and be satisfied that they're different experiences, and you could keep both of them in your head. That said, I personally favor Octopath Traveler 0 out of these 2 games. And for purposes of if you do only buy one, Octopath Traveler 0 clearly has much, much more content than Expedition 33. And I'm not just a content for the sake of content guy, but it's good, high-quality content too. So I would favor Octopath Traveler, but I tend to agree with Travis. I think both is probably fine for this purpose. Ideally, You're not having to buy presents about your survival of brain surgery too often, so you might as well go whole hog when you do.
Yeah, that's fair.
She says she already bought the Disney Dreamlight Valley expansion. Be curious to hear if that is less buggy than it was when I played it. Sard, if you have any feedback there.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. We got one more super chat right now, and then we'll just go ahead and jump over since it's the hot topic today, of course. Tao, you're going crazy today, my friend.
The old Zochmeister writes, Blizzard should just make movies for their IPs. Those cinematics don't miss.
But have you seen the Warcraft movie?
Yeah. How do we go from there to there? Yeah.
Also, like those cutscenes must take months. Like that movie would take like 9 years to develop if they were trying to have it to that level of quality.
Hey, Square Enix only almost bankrupted itself.
Yeah. God, that's so long ago now, you know?
It's seasoned. Movie. We've got seasoned content here, folks.
It's
true. What we deliver.
We were talking about the Lord of Hatred cutscene with some buddies at SG and stuff, and I was saying that still, when I think back of like, everyone has those kind of like memorable scenes or cinematics that we've seen over the years in games, and there's a ton of them. But I still think from a production quality and just like impact, oh, for God's sakes, Lilith and Anarius cutscene late in Diablo 4's campaign, the like 7-minute one. It's unbelievable. Like, it's truly unbelievable how well produced that is. It is so good. I've gone back on YouTube and watched it multiple times. It's just, Blizzard's on another level with those things.
They're gorgeous. And I love the Diablo 4 aesthetic. Like, they just nailed it. And
it's crushed it.
It works with what they're already rendering. So it's just a fantastic combination of these things. Now, I have to say, I think I probably preferred the Vessel of Hatred intro teaser
that was
trailer
fantastic too.
More than this one so far. But I will definitely watch this one again. I love their work.
Have you seen, I'm sure you've seen it, but have you gone back and watched it? The initial cinematic to introduce Diablo 4, the 3 will come.
It's a good. That's a good one. That's in the game. You can watch
the one before the titles. Like I keep trying to get them to play it again. I don't know how to make Diablo 4 let me see that again. But
you can watch on Diablo's YouTube channel. But
Diablo
like start a new character
times.
No, it doesn't play for a new character. It does play for like a brand new install of Diablo 4.
Interesting.
It's insane.
I feel like that cutscene wouldn't stop playing when I was playing the game earlier, but
they might have tweaked it at some point because the new character now is just it's just you on the horse in the snow and then the Harbinger.
It might have been when we reviewed it, Travis, because it played a lot. I remember
it did. I remember that.
Yeah, but
you could always
that one. I mean,
they got all the cutscenes there.
Yeah. Blizzard's just a completely different.
Look, we get quick responsiveness. Sard's bought them both.
Hell yeah, dude! Look at that. Look at that. Right. Making sound financial decisions based on our expert financial advice.
It isn't our money to spend.
I haven't played Octopath Traveler 0, but between Hogue and kind of obviously the critical reception, I mean, between that and Expedition, seemed like both great games. So can't really go wrong. So good. All right. Let's get into the Game Awards then. So I guess we'll start with just the high level, and we kind of touched on this already, but just at the top, obviously, Hogue, you didn't watch the whole thing. I was actually at the airport picking up my mom for the holidays, so I was kind of trying to watch on my phone and listen, so I didn't sit and watch the whole thing either. But what do you guys think of kind of the overall show? Travis, I'm going to start with you since you seem to watch it, and you seem to kind of already commented a little bit on this.
Yeah, I mean, I put aside 5 hours because last year it was 5 hours, and my wife and I were absolutely horrified. So I had like all the stuff I was going to do. I was like, I've got my laundry, got to fold that. So that'll buy me a little 40 minutes right there. Good times.
That's some cautious laundry.
40 minutes.
I mean, guys, have you seen the way I dress? It's fantastic, and the results speak for themselves, right? You gotta look sharp. You gotta get out the ironing board, okay?
All right.
I do iron.
Anyway, ironing's you gotta iron. Can you imagine if I didn't iron, what I would look like? Rumplebee over here? Hell no, dude.
I think people know my deal is a ball cap and the one sweater for going on video.
I thought you said bald cap.
Just sits by my camera.
I was like, "That's your deal, bald cap."
This is a bald cap. Yeah, I actually have long flowing hair under this.
That's good. Yeah. You guys ever worn a bald cap?
I don't need
maybe in a show.
Yeah, I wore one I was Vin Diesel once. I was, got to get my Dominic Toretto outfit. I had the big cross on. It was pretty cool. I'm a cool dude, is what I'm telling you.
I'm picturing you at your side.
Yeah, dude.
Imagine
it. Imagine it. Imagine me as Vin Diesel. Business casual Vin Diesel.
That sounds like a Halloween episode.
Pretty good. Yeah, I can break out. I don't think I have the bald cap anymore, but I still do have the cross.
All right, Bitcast community, hold us accountable. Next Halloween, we have to do a Halloween show where the three of us dress up.
Yeah,
hold us accountable.
As Fast and Furious characters exclusively.
Okay, I didn't say all that. Let's not comment down.
Anyway, I had all these things like Destiny grinding. Had my little mini portable Xbox pulled out in front of the TV, so I could do that during all the numerous commercial breaks. And I will say, it was surprising that how little I had to engage with those things. There were definitely low points. There were a lot of commercial breaks and that sort of thing, but it did feel a little more focused this year. It was also, I think, only like 2.5 hours or 3 hours. It was like, considering I thought it was going to be 5, it ended up being like significantly shorter, which I was grateful for, to be done with the Game Awards by like 8 o'clock. Last year it was at least 10 o'clock my time. Like, it was so long.
Last year definitely felt very long. Yes.
Yeah. That said, I do think that there were fewer announcements that I was like super stoked on than previous years. Like, for me, the Game Awards aren't really about announcements, so part of me was like, grateful that they didn't take that much oxygen out of the room with all of the big announcements. But kind of what I would hope would happen is that would mean fewer big announcements means more focus on the awards, and they certainly did not do that part.
No, straight to the Evanescence. Let's go.
So once again, the Game Awards feel like the Jeff Keighley E3 show with some awards attached to it, which has always been my biggest criticism of the show, is just like the format and what it is itself. Part of me gets it. I mean, I know they're trying to get, people don't watch award shows unless they think there's going to be cool trailers surrounding it as well, but it still will never cease to feel tacky and like a weird way to not focus on the content. Announcements that I liked. Well, gotta like a new Casey Hudson Star Wars game.
We're gonna go through them. We're gonna go through them.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't sweat too much about the awards, having participated in several awards like group things these days. Like, everybody's really passionate about it. I believe that the people who liked the games that won genuinely were coming from a place of believing that those were the best games, and I think that's all that matters. Like Expedition 33, it was really nice to see a small indie team with their first game out there just being extremely happy, which I'm always happy to see. It's aside from the mobile game that won, I guess because of bots, I'm happy for all the winners. So
yeah, I generally agree. I went back and looked. The full stream, even with the pre-show and everything, was 3.5 this year. So that does feel a little short. So your points to the core show, I think, is about 2.5. I liked quite a few of the announcements, which we'll get to, of course. The show, I agree with pretty much everything you said. There's still too many commercials. There's still less of a focus on celebrating devs and more on announcements. I agree with you. It's more like an E3 show. We've talked about that before. At this point, I don't think that's changing. It's obviously what draws the viewers. It's obviously what draws the money. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. The Expedition 33 cleaning up, we already said ahead of time. Everyone kind of knew that was going to happen, so that didn't surprise me either. I do think some of it is ridiculous, as we've talked about before, but so be it. I think generally the entire gaming community needs to put less weight on the decisions that are made at the Game Awards as if it's something, official per se, which it's not. So other than that, I like a bunch of the announcements, which maybe some of these resonate more with me than you guys, but we'll talk through those shortly.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to talk about the announcements. And yeah, it's possible that I rolled in at the worst part of the awards because I literally did turn it on. I got the Street Fighter trailer. I got an Evanescence performance. I got Miss Piggy and Rolf singing songs. And it's like, that's fine. I didn't mind any of it. Like I said, the production values of this year I thought were tremendous. I did get to see Mephisto arrive and be coordinated with the lights and the fog and everything. And I thought that was great. That is showmanship, and that's what Jeff brings to the table. But yeah, it was not super enticing to stay for longer and watch the 1 minute long, we're going to announce all these awards in what amounts to the commercial break kickers between Evanescence performances. So yeah, I don't like the format. I don't really like the genre picks. I think it should be more focused on the creation of video games and not like RPG and action adventure and these various things that don't mean anything anyway. But I'm obviously happy that we're past the Spike TV version of the Game Awards and the Joel McHale shows up and shits on everything version of the awards. So I think this is better, but it's still not for me. And I agree with what you said earlier in that you shouldn't give any import really to any award show. Like the last season of Game of Thrones won the Emmy for best show. You know, I think there's all sorts of award shows that just don't do a great job of actually evaluating the art in front of them. One, because it's hard. Two, because it's subjective. Three, because that's not really the goal, right? These are back padding type things. In this particular case for video games, it's really patting Jeff Keighley's back and not even necessarily the people that make the games. But that said, I think it's great that there is a time that we all get to celebrate this awesome industry. I do wish people online would take it less seriously.
Yeah, all fair. Yeah, so let's run down. We'll run down the reveals. Obviously, we're not going to go every single game. I did pick most of them, and I tried to give a little context in our notes here. So I'll start with this one. I just thought was funny. So there's a game that was in the pre-show called The Free Shepherd, where you play a herding dog, basically.
That looks cool.
Yeah, and people have already affectionately named it Dog Stranding. So I think that's what they should rename it. Go with it. Roll with it.
Nice.
You know.
What was it actually called? Sheep something?
The Free Shepherd.
Free Shepherd. There you go. I got close.
Looks kind of curious, but looks cool. So we'll see. First major game that kind of talked about is Pragmata. So Pragmata, a new trailer for that. They also announced the demo's out now. I have not played it. I don't know if either of you have touched it yet, but
no, the demo's only on computer, so I haven't turned it on. But I am super excited about this game.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Eric at SG played it. He was telling us that really likes it so far. He said it feels really good to play. It's really sharp. He says it could be quite linear, so maybe it's more narrative focused. So we'll see. But they also announced it's coming to the Switch 2 as well, which is cool.
It looks straight out of like the Capcom messes with stuff of the 360 era, right? Like it could be Lost Planet. So I'm excited about them trying those more experimental action games.
For sure. Yeah. I can't remember Alex and Ray I did Summer Game Fest with. Either Alex or Ray played this at Summer Game Fest too and actually liked their time with it. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, it's shaping up to be good. And Capcom's been kind of hitting for the most part, hitting pretty solid for this past several years. So we'll see.
That child needs a haircut. That's my feedback from that trailer.
I love the RE engine, but like it does do some strange things with faces and hair.
Yeah.
One that I don't know if you guys are interested in, but I saw a few people joking about this one is Bradley the Badger.
Let's go. Yes, Badger game is on my list.
Nice. Okay. I was excited too. I didn't know if you guys would be because you know me, 3D platformer, goofy stuff going on in it. You can kind of manipulate the world around you to do other things. I thought, and it has a sense of humor, presumably. So it looked cool to me. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, that looked really, really freaking cool.
That trailer is awesome, guys. If you haven't seen it, Ains is underselling it. It is a 3D platformer, but it's like a parody mashup exploration of the current state of modern video gaming. So check out that trailer. It looks really cool to me.
Yeah, it does. I didn't see a release date or anything like that on it, but I did appreciate, if you didn't notice, you know me, the font that they're using for the title is very Banjo-ish.
Or Conquer-ish. I mean, like it does seem inspired by
Rare.
Conquer.
Yeah, old Rare. Yeah, that's true. So that one looks cool. Check it out. All right, guys. I put this early in and combined them together because I know this is up your guys' alley and mine to a degree as well. So we got 2 Star Wars games announcements. You commented on this one first, so we'll start there. Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, which is being developed by a new studio in coordination with Lucasfilm Games that is being led by Casey Hudson. If you, for some reason, don't know who that is, it's from the old BioWare days, who did Knights of the Old Republic. He also worked on Anthem to a degree. but he is leading the direction of this game. Studio was stood up. We learned from Schreier that studio was stood up this year.
Like 5 minutes ago. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the CG trailer looks awesome. But keep your expectations of when this will actually release in check.
Yeah. This is the Cyberpunk 2077 trailer with the robot lady in the street that we saw however many years before that game was even a twinkle in anybody's eye to actually show us something. This game is eons away. And
Casey Hudson said before 2030 for sure.
Yeah, he did. He's a liar, or he's very aspirational. I understand that he knows that 2030 is a bad look. Like, people got this rumor that Schreier goes out there and says it's not going to be before 2030. And he says, no, it's going to be before then. But if you actually think about the timeline of this, it's either tiny and not a Knights of the Old Republic successor, which doesn't seem like a smart thing to do from what they've announced, or like late 2029 is about as good as you could hope for this thing.
Yeah, agree. We were so I don't know about you, Travis, but what Hogue said, we were talking on the SG channel about this, and I was like, "There's no way this game releases before 2030." And some of the SG staff were like, "No, it will," and I'm like, "I don't see how." To Hogue's point, I don't see how. If you're starting a AAA game that's on multi-platform at basically at the end of 2025, 2026, you're saying you're going to build that in less than 4 years in modern development suites to make an Old Republic game. I agree exactly, Hogue. There's no way in hell.
And I'm enthusiastic about this project. Casey Hudson, you probably undersold a little bit. He was the creative mind behind Knights and big parts of Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, yeah.
Like, he's the guy.
Big one.
Yeah. Yes.
I do think I don't know. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. I think he said before 2030. He didn't say a lot before 2030, so I could see 2029 being the
That's still
year.
4 years.
I mean, that you are hustling and nothing went wrong to hit end of 29.
Yeah. I could see a delay being like, actually, after 2030, that tweet probably won't age well. But I mean, give him benefit of the doubt. Right tool set, fresh studio.
I'm giving him benefit of the doubt. We're just talking about time.
We're assuming it's AAA. I don't know that it is. We'll see.
Well, that's the thing, right? This is the successor to the Old Republic. You really can't mess with this so much and actually still release it. So if it comes in at double or single A, then they're just going to bin it. Then it doesn't come out at all. Like, you can't just kill the vibes of your most successful Star Wars video game franchise.
Yeah, I don't think. Sorry, go ahead, Travis.
I was just gonna say, I don't think you kill the vibes by making it a smaller project. I don't think Knights of the Old Republic games are really that long, especially by today's standards. So if they're going for something that is trying to be an approximation of that, plus if it uses, like they said, it's probably going to be turn-based or whatever, I could see them making it like a Expedition 33 length type game, something around that.
Do you know how long Expedition 33 was being worked on?
By 30 people, by the way.
By 30 people. I mean, we don't know how big this team is. There's just too many unknowns. We'll see.
Yeah. I think it was Steve at SG said that the original Mass Effect was made in like 3.5 years or something. I'm like, yeah, that's 2006, first of all. It's 20 years ago. It was on one platform. I'll remind everyone that game came out for the 360 at launch. That's it. Yep. It didn't even come to PC to the following year. And it's not modern game development, as we know. We talk about seemingly every week about how long games take to make in the modern sense. We've heard it from developers all the time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll see. Yeah, if we're still doing Bitcast, we'll see.
It's fine to be aspirational. It is. I understand why he came out and said that sounds like too far. And what did he also say? I'm not getting any younger. It's like, I know. I understand that you want this to be out as much as anybody else does. But I really think realistically you are looking at a 3 in the 10 spot of that release date.
Agree. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, trust me, like everyone else, seeing a new Old Republic game led by Casey Hudson, I'm pumped about. Like, bring it on.
Yeah. Go get it.
It also might be the thing that canonizes the Old Republic. Like the Old Republic is canon in Star Wars, but none of the actual events are, because we keep almost getting an Old Republic thing, and then the Old Republic thing gets like canceled or doesn't come out. And so this would be like the first thing aside from the Acolyte that is like Acolyte's actually
Acolyte's High Republic. Yeah.
So this would be literally the first thing Old Republic that we have like any hard canonization on, which is just interesting from a Star Wars fan perspective.
I'm not going to be able to fully nerd out with you here on this, Travis, but are there not any Marvel comics that touch on Old Republic?
There are many things that touch on the Old Republic and say, like, talk about the Jedi Civil War and the existence of Revan and like stuff like that. Like that has been recanonized by a lot of the authors that made the original content, but there's nothing in canon that plays in that era specifically. Okay. They reference it, but like the Knights of the Old Republic is no longer canon until that remake exists or doesn't. Like that would recanonize a lot of it.
Or remake.
Yeah, that poor remake. Like, and then the other one was actually, it was a High Republic thing, I guess, the Eclipse one, but that also hasn't come out. So like basically all of the projects that would have like given us more details are currently no longer canon or just haven't reached the light of day. And so if this comes out, it would presumably be the first thing that does that, unless the Knights of the Old Republic remake is actually still happening and farther along than we think, which is not the impression I'm getting.
No, I don't. That's a train wreck. Yeah.
Apparently it's still happening. I keep seeing reports that are like, nope, it's still happening, even though there's lots
that's a Sony backed project, right?
Marks.
I think so. I think it was supposed to be PS5. Yeah. Well, that was the other funny thing I was going to mention is we're talking about this game in this time frame. PS6 and the next Xbox will be out presumably by the time this launches. So, and they'll be releasing mid-development. So it's another one of those weird ones, which, you know, they have to try and figure out how that's going to be too. So anyway,
best of luck to them.
I don't know that the Knights of the Old Republic remake is going to be like bleeding edge. Like,
no, I'm sorry. I meant Fate. I was talking about Fate.
Oh, Fate. Oh, yeah. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Because presumably it's going to release on all those, right? Like current, what we're playing now versus and new. So, good luck, Casey. I hope you got what you need to make this what we hope it will be.
Go kill it.
Yeah. Great announcement.
It got me playing Knights of the Old Republic again. So
nice. I've been trying to get my wife to play that game because I know she would love it if she could get past Terrace, but that's a tall order. That first couple
you
hours
said Terrace, which is the first place you go in that game. I heard either tariffs, as in taxes, or terrorists.
She's really pissed off about the tariff. She can't focus on games right now.
I think the first planet you go to where you're locked down on Terrace is a little slow. I think that game starts a little slower than it needs to, and it gets cool. But if I can get her to Dantooine, I know she would love that game. But I'm having a hard time getting her past the grunge.
You can only take so much Carthonassi in your life.
Yeah, the Carthonassi, and also just like the dancing in the club and the arena fights and like all that stuff. They give you so much to do on that planet, which is cool. But then also like you're missing the Star Wars part where you're out exploring the galaxy and traveling with your companions, and you just don't get to do that when you're on that planet, which is kind of my main problem with how that game opens.
It's been so long since I've played. Like I don't even remember most of these references.
I remember everything.
It's a great Switch port for what it's worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like up-resed and whatnot on Series, right?
Oh, like dude, on the Series X, it runs at like 400 FPS. It's unbelievable because the game looks so janky. It runs like crazy well.
Yeah, no, you'll immediately be reminded of how old it is.
Yeah.
But it's a really good Switch port if you're looking to play it mobile.
Yeah, I might replay that. I was honestly holding off on replaying it and or making D play it because of the remake, and now I'm sort of like I kind of feel like I have to just put you through the old version, lady. All I can do.
Me too. I think those two announcements, like kind of next to each other, of the ports and the remake, didn't help the ports at all because I had put them in that same bucket, which is like I'll just play the remakes when it come out. Well, no, those are definitely not progressing like they would have hoped.
Yeah.
So I think we can all agree, though. I mean, this is a cool project. I'm stunned that it exists. I'm glad that it exists. I do think this goes in the folder in my mind that says, don't even think about it until we have something remotely close to a real release date.
Without question.
We agree. Yes.
I mean, it's one of those things that's so cool, you almost want to just like bury it in your brain. Like that's how I felt about the Knights of the Old Republic remake. It was like a CGI trailer. The Eclipse trailer, I felt the same way. I was like, wow, this looks really cool. It's also very obviously an early concept video, and I'm just gonna I have so many desktop screenshot of the desktop wallpapers. That are from Star Wars Eclipse, and every once in a while they pop up in like my rotation of wallpapers, and I go, "Oh yeah, that was a great trailer for the game that's never going to come out ever." It's
funny, so many people give me crap for not loving Expedition 33 as much as everybody else. I have a series of wallpapers that pop up from Expedition 33 on my computer. I am not.
Do they make you rage?
A hater? No, I don't hate this thing.
Why is this still happening?
Yeah. But no,
I agree with you guys. I think burying this and forgetting it even was announced is the best thing to do for a while.
Now, one between here and there, we're going to get.
We shouldn't bury is the pod racing one, because that looks like it's actually got development. If I can transition us.
No, that's a good segue.
We can go to the next one. I was just going to say that between here and Fate of the Old Republic, we do have Expanse and Exodus. Presumably,
Expanse. We have other IPs
have a date
for
there.
Sure. Yeah, other IPs for sure. But
we also
Star
have
Wars
Destiny 2 Renegades, which is a Star Wars game apparently.
But yeah, Star Wars Galactic Racer, and I won't say what Travis said in our private chat when I saw this announcement, but coming.
Well, why don't you say it? I don't get it.
It was inappropriate.
It was about the release date. I'll get to it. Hold on. So it's coming next year. It's from Fuse Games, which is the former Criterion leads studio, which is good news for this, and Secret Mode. And this one looks awesome because it also has an actual narrative in it as well.
It does?
Yeah, it does.
I apparently didn't follow up on that. I watched the trailer. This one looks awesome. It has a narrative.
It has story stuff in it, which I was like, what?
like Brad Pitt has to learn to drive again, or?
I guess.
Hey,
I think it's like you
good.
Coming up in the
F1
world.
was great.
Reminded me of
yeah.
It kind of reminded me of like the time that they put a story in the FIFA game. What was that story about the kid who's
I hope not.
Yeah,
I hope not.
I mean, obviously that's a terrible example, but it kind of reminded me of that in terms of like there's an excuse to why you're doing all the races in between the racing. So we'll see if that delivers. But you got Suboldba.
I did see that. Did you threw an old in there?
Suboldba. Yeah, I tried it out. What do you think, Hoke? What do you think of my?
I think we need to workshop it a little bit, but I like I like the direction.
Yeah.
So here you go. I'll read this to you. So this is directly from StarWars.com. So at the heart of it all is Shade, a lone racer with the dream of glory and revenge. I never heard of that before. For Shade, the League isn't just a race; it's a shot at reclaiming destiny. But standing in Shade's way is Kestar, a ruthless rival who has his own power-hungry plans for the League. As the League rises, so does the rivalry that could define it. Shade must forge alliances, outpace rivals, survive long enough to become an elite racing pilot. So you'll race across multiple Star Wars planets. And it says there's branching routes, varied environments, dynamic risk-reward choices, ensure no two runs play the same.
Hell yeah.
So come for the racing. Don't leave just because of the narrative. Got it. It's
That's probably a good way to say it.
That could pop off. We don't know. I'm gonna.
It could. It could. You know what? We'll leave it open.
Cool.
Honestly, after how much fun I've been having with the Nazma 11 and putting my little anime team of soccer kids from middle school together, I am fully behind. You can make a narrative out of anything, but I also think that sometimes they just get slapped on and they aren't really worth the time that was spent on them.
I could see both. I'm hoping that they'll just go extra hard on that narrative and make it cool. We'll see. Either way, I'm gonna be racing pods, and I was racing pods last year for that remaster of that old pod racing game, the Star Wars game, and
called Pod Racer.
Quite painful because that game is not good. So we're due, Hogue, for
the trailer looks
pod
great.
Racing game.
The trailer looks great. You can only do so much with a CGI trailer, but it does look like they are aimed at the right things, right? The kind of the violence of Star Wars racing in these awesome environments. When they said it was from some of the people that brought you like Burnout and other Criterion games, it's like, yes, that should work. Like let's see some explosions. Let's see some awesome rendered Star Wars environments. This should work. But I had no idea they were trying to put a story in it.
Yeah, and it says there's obviously different crafts. There's skills to unlock. There's you can learn takedown, so you will be taking out other pods as you're racing. So I mean, it could be really good.
That's quintessential pod racing. You guys,
I got to throw a wrench in an engine. Let me
You guys
go.
ever see the pod racing episode of Bad Batch? That's a vibe right there. That's what I want us to accomplish here.
No, I don't think I've seen more than 10 minutes of Bad Batch.
Tech learns a new skill in it. It's really heartwarming. Heartwarming half an hour of television, you know.
I will take your word from it. Well, like I said, the Fate of the Old Republic announcement got me playing Knights of the Old Republic. Maybe I will get into a little bit more Star Wars that doesn't touch on the sequel trilogy era. But for right now, these are two cool announcements. I do have to say the backlog of cool Star Wars announcements is maybe as long as the entire library of Star Wars games at this point.
And we even know about the unannounced cool Star Wars announcements that got canceled before they ever saw the light of day.
Pour one out for 1313, everybody.
Yeah. And what was it? The EA game, the EA Studios working on the
the Amy Hennig game.
Amy Hennig.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that one.
Was it ever called anything more than Amy Hennig Star Wars Project?
I don't know, man. I don't know. At least they're trying stuff, right? And some of these come out and some of them are great. You got your Jedi Survivors, you got your, doing all right.
Well, this one's supposedly coming in 2026, so it's almost 2026, so it can't be that far away if it actually releases on schedule.
Yeah, the Ubisoft one came out last year too. I feel like the record of the games they actually
Outlaws,
put out is pretty strong.
Squadrons
recently.
was before that.
Yeah, I like Squadrons. I mean, campaign is
anyway.
Whatever.
Yeah, so a couple cool announcements for the Star Wars universe, which is great. I think you can kind of hear when you're watching remotely like us, you can hear the crowd reaction, right? That's kind of like a good measure of the in-arena excitement. And Fate of the Old Republic was definitely near the top. When they showed when Old Republic popped up on the screen at the title at the end. So
it's funny that as soon as it showed the planet with the ship, like the first frame of that trailer, I was like, this is Star Wars. And he was like, how do you know? We just got done watching a bunch of sci-fi trailers. Like, this could be any of them. I was like, I know. And then it was like, then the ship turned and you saw its silhouette. I was like, that's a Star Wars ship. And then the further it got, I was like, this is Old Republic. I know exactly what this is. Is that Ballista? I was like trying to get ahead of it. I was like, wait. And then it was really funny to how quickly I was on to this is Star Wars, guys. Everybody, this is Star Wars. Immediately. Yeah, like, guys, this is it.
Well, the one of the obviously biggest announcements of the night was the leak that happened prior to the show, of course, with this silly looking statue, which was Divinity. So Larian is going back to their Divinity IP. The new game is just called Divinity. We got a 4-minute or so, pretty long CG trailer with some, I might say, as a horror fan,
risque material.
I really liked it. Well done. That was cool.
I turned around. My wife was sitting behind me for that part. I turned around and she was just like this. Just abstaining from that part. It freaked her out so much. And then I was like, it's a game we like. We played all the Divinity games together. I was like, it's a game we like.
It was a lot. One, I thought that was very dismissive of the Hellstone Ains. I thought that was one of the cooler things that the Game Awards and Jeff have put together in a while. So the mystery of the Hellstone I thought was interesting. And then, yes, it got leaked because they trademarked Divinity the day before, which is fine. But, come on, trademark lawyers. You can do better than that. You didn't need that day. You didn't. But in any event, I thought this was a cool trailer. I do, having played in the Divinity universe before, think that people might think that Divinity overall is a little bit less goofy than it actually is. Now, I don't know whether that signals that Larian is taking this in a Diablo-esque, we're going to talk really about demons and sin and all this other stuff that they only really lightly touch on in their other entries in this universe. But one of the things I love about Larian is how goofy their self-made universe is, like the aristocratic talking dragon people and everything in between exists in this universe. And what this trailer showed was something a lot more akin to what we were talking about with the Blizzard Diablo cinematics. I don't know whether that's going to be the vibe or not. I strongly suspect this game is going to wind up in the original Sin Baldur's Gate 3 kind of model of gameplay, because that's what they're known for now and that's what they're really good at now. But they haven't really told us what this game is going to be yet. So I think this is much closer to being done than Fate of the Old Republic. I still view this as probably pretty far out there, and we shouldn't get too excited until we know more, is my opinion on these things. Travis will tell you, get excited as much as you want. I think that's fair. But in terms of how I kind of manage what I'm looking forward to, this one looks a ways away too.
Definitely ways away. But I think they have to do it now. I think it needs to be on the heels of Baldur's Gate 3 so people don't forget that they're the guys who did it, because I think this is a studio that needs momentum to carry them away from the Dungeons and Dragons IP. And like, I'm rooting so hard for Divinity 3 to be as successful or more successful than Baldur's Gate, because I think that's where they really, their story chops show in a way that I think they're limited in what they can do in the Forgotten Realms. So,
agreed.
Yeah, I think they have to have, a trailer every year to get people to remember Baldur's Gate and keep the momentum there. So, best of luck.
Yeah,
to them.
I was gonna say to you guys, because I know obviously with Baldur's Gate's 3 success and awards and everything, right? It's accolades, I guess I should say. But you guys were both always vocal about the fact of like, especially you, Travis, around the D&D IP, kind of holding back some of the originality, obviously, right? That Larian did before with the original Divinity game. So the one quote they had from, I don't know if it's the director or the CEO, the head of the studio, excuse me, but he said, this marks the beginning of something with more breadth, depth, and intimacy than anything we've created before. We've been building towards this moment ever since we took fate into our own hands, obviously going independent. This is the Divinity game we've always wanted to make, and you're going to have loads of fun with it. So it sounds like they're going down the same CRPG route.
It does sound like that. They have to. I mean, like they almost have to, unless they just kind of lost their minds. But
yeah,
we just don't know for sure. And then the name change is the only thing that gives me pause there, right? Because it's easy enough to call this Original Sin 3. Travis just called it Divinity 3. This would obviously not be the third Divinity game. It would be the third if you were calling this Original Sin. So the fact that they are moving the name does give me one moment of pause, but I do feel like this is ultimately going to play and feel like Original Sin 3, because that's what Baldur's Gate 3 was, and that's really what people would expect from the studio.
Yeah, agree. And it's the same thing.
I honestly didn't realize it wasn't called Divinity 3. I thought they were dropping Divinity. I thought they were dropping Original Sin and just calling it Divinity 3. I was like, okay, makes sense.
No, because you got Divine Divinity. You've got what? Is Dragon Commander? Does that have a divinity in it? It's in the Divinity world.
Divinity Original Sin is a pretty bad name. It's too long. That's my review of that title.
To be fair, games are not awesome at naming themselves. Often.
They really aren't. But if you have an opportunity to chop off a couple words, call your name something catchy.
Octopath Traveler 0 means precisely nothing. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is a crazy name. That's true. It's not good. It's just smattering of words.
Really is. Sometimes you just got to throw a bunch of marketing words into a smoothie and see what you get, That's the strat. So I think the rebranding is probably more just to streamline, maybe, and also make people feel like they're not playing the third game in the series. They don't have to have played a bunch of old ones.
Yeah, jump in.
The 3 in Baldur's Gate is useful because a lot of people have really good memories of Baldur's Gate, and I think the 3 in Divinity Original Sin is hurtful. So I see the strategy.
Yeah, and shout out to Lucius. What's up, man? Good to see you here. He calls out too, which is certainly true. So the Divinity as a series goes back longer than I think most people realize. Goes back over 20 years, and the original Divinity games were more Diablo aimed. Yeah, they were more.
You want to talk about bad titles? Divine Divinity. You kidding me, bro?
But then they went beyond Divinity, so they got past it, Hoke. It's fine.
Yeah.
But so I guess it's going to be interesting, especially given the trailer. To your point, Hoke, do they stick with the CRPG, which it feels like building on BG3? They should because of its success, or do they go back to more ARPG and kind of build on just the success of the studio? I don't know.
I gotta believe it's a CRPG again. I gotta believe it's the Original Sin type of game.
I would think so. I don't see how you ignore, again, to Travis's point, I don't see how you ignore the success of Baldur's Gate 3 and build on that.
See, and I wanted to look this up because I didn't know whether they used the name, but Dragon Commander, which is a game I really like from them, which is really strange of a game, but I recommend checking it out if you're at all interested in this universe, is called Divinity Dragon Commander. Which, again, you're just hurling words at the wall, right? Like, those don't all go together. But it's called Divinity Dragon Commander.
Sorry, I was typing a comment. Yeah. They just Maybe they just like to have the word divinity in everything they make. Who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be Burger Chef Divinity. Whatever, Larian. You do you. You guys are good at making games. I don't care what you call it.
Divinity Baking Pit. We nailed it. There you go.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, great to see. So we'll obviously learn more about that in time, without a doubt. So we'll see how that shapes up.
Yeah, no, that's a fun one to file away as it's being made. It's cool that there's a new Divinity game. It's cool that Larian is still making things that are cool. And that'll be filed away till we're within a 6-month window of when I think it actually releases. Even, you might recall, Baldur's Gate 3 was in early access.
That's what I was going to say. I think that this might take a similar path, which means like if you really want more Baldur's Gate 3, you might be able to get your hands on it earlier. That'd be my guess.
Like an Act 1, but then be ready to wait for 4 years.
Yeah. Though they've been very vocal about the early access period being critical to the success they saw with Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, yeah, no, it helped them out. And they are really good at community communication. They are one of the best studios in gaming at working a community. So I do like that. When this gets closer and they've got more to talk about, they do the fireside chats. They are great at it.
Yep, agreed. So one of the other ones that I think really interested me from the show is Ontos.
I didn't see this one.
So it is from Frictional Games that created Soma.
I love Soma.
It's being published by Kepler, and it had almost a BioShocky vibe to it if you check out the trailer. Not saying the game's like that, but it starts that way, and then you get more of the Soma-ish aspect where it starts to go a little more crazy. So this one looks really cool.
Holy crap, they called it a spiritual successor to Soma. Soma is maybe my favorite horror game of all time.
Yeah, Ontos, you need to watch the trailer.
Ontos.
Yeah. Looks cool. Hyped for this one. Soma is one, shamefully, I didn't finish, and I've been meaning to go back to for
so good
years now, and I just haven't. I still need to. But this one looks great, so we'll see what's happening.
All right, I'm getting off the show. I'm going to watch this trailer.
I'll hold us over then to Resident Evil Requiem, which is what we're going to talk next anyway. So another worst kept secret in gaming is that Leon Kennedy, one of the most popular characters, obviously, in Resident Evil universe, is returning. You know what's funny about this one, Travis, if you didn't see, is everyone kind of knew and assumed Leon was going to be in this, but it leaked again, and it leaked because of the PlayStation Store. They put this up for wish list, and it had the key art with Leon, obviously older Leon, in it. So but some good new information here, and I went on to Resident Evil, so I got the PR stuff to check it out. So essentially what they've said is they're going dual protagonist route again, just like Resident Evil 2 and some of the other entries where you play in 2 different stories, but uniquely in this one between Grace Ashcroft and Leon. When you're playing as Grace, it's going to be more survival horror, like running from the creature chasing you, more tension type stuff. And then when it switches to Leon, it's going to be more action focused, like an RE4 type game. So they're trying to walk the line of being both, because if you debate in the Resident Evil universe, the debate is often, do you prefer the survival horror stuff like more like RE2, or do you prefer the more action stuff like RE4, like Village? And I like them both, so I don't really care, but it's going to be interesting to see how they balance that, trying to do both in one game. So could be interesting on this one. Either way, it looks amazing. I'm pumped. Comes out in a couple months. I will certainly be there day one. And they announced some new pre-order bonuses for Leon skins and deluxe edition and other stuff if you want to check those out too.
Holy crap. It's got Luthen in it.
I told you it looks great. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is the best. I love being on this show. Fantastic.
I do, you know, I'm just going to say it. I do appreciate once in a while, because I think you guys know I do my homework for the show every week, and I do put this stuff out there, especially for the game shows. And I do like that for one time, I surprised you with something you didn't actually know was out there, and you're excited by it. So it was worth it. See?
Coming in 2026, stars Luthen from the people that brought you Soma as its spiritual successor to talk about philosophy and science and horror all in one. This is the best news of the day. This is awesome.
Luthen Rail.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's going to be good. Well, yeah, it should be good, we'll say. So, anyway, we were talking Resident Evil, Hogue, so I was just quickly saying worst kept secret, Leon Kennedy's back. They are, if you didn't know, they're doing the dual protagonist like RE2 in this, where half the game you'll play as Grace, half the game you'll play as Leon. But if you didn't hear me, they essentially said the Grace sections will be survival horror, much more tension, slower paced, and then the Leon sections will be more action, combat.
Because he got a gun.
So what you're saying is Resident Evil 6 is coming back, baby.
That is exactly what I thought of, Hogue. I was like, uh-oh, they've tried this before. It didn't work out. You try to do too many things in a game, and sometimes
could you imagine if they F up Requiem after all the success of modern Resident Evil? If they blow it all, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. I am excited about this. I think this was the worst kept secret in gaming that Leon was.
Well, if you didn't hear me, Hogue, they actually not only did everyone know already that Leon was going to be in it, but the night before the Game Awards, PlayStation Store put up the new key art, which has Leon in it.
Sure, why not? I mean, I barely know who Leon is as a character anymore anyway, so it's fine. No, I think it's going to be cool. I'm excited for Requiem. I don't, as I think you guys know, I don't love this most recent Resident Evil trilogy, the Winters folks running around doing things, but hopefully this is a good finale for it.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for the game. And I think it's going to be great based on modern development. I do like the modern games, but when I saw it in Summer Game Fest and they told us they showed us the trailer that's now been out, the 10-minute look with Grace that's really kind of dark and foreboding. And they told us, the producer was in there and told us that this is going to be the darkest Resident Evil yet, and they're really diving into that era or that type of RE. I got really excited, and now I'm kind of confused because I'm like, but you just showed Leon playing action hero, and you're telling me I'm going to play as Leon playing action hero. That goes against what you just told me over here. So I don't know. It seems a little at odds with one another.
Yeah, it does. They want their cake and they want to eat it too. I mean, that's what they want. Can they pull it off? I'm hopeful. I think Capcom has a really good track record over the last few years. And I love Resident Evil. So go kill it, guys. But yeah, I do think that the idea to market this as only that one half of what this product was going to be is maybe not the wisest. But
yeah,
there's a lot of things in marketing that I don't think are the wisest in games and movies and elsewise.
Yeah, we'll see. Either way, I think it's gonna be great. But everyone has their own opinion on Resident Evil. There's a million of the games, right? People like certain aspects of them more than others. So we'll see. Here's one for you guys. Definitely not me. But Order of the Sinking Stars. So this is the new puzzle game from Jonathan Blow, who did Braid and Witness. He's been working on this. Apparently, they say for a decade. How true that is in terms of working, we don't know. But it, from a puzzle game perspective, it does look cool, and it's being reported. And I don't, again, know how to quantify this, but it's being reported that it has over 1,000 puzzles in it.
Well, that's in the trailer. So I mean, they could be liars, but that's in the trailer itself.
Sure, but I mean, to what shape do they mean? What counts as one puzzle? But we'll see.
The Witness, I think it's pretty clear what counts.
I did play The Witness almost 100%, and I regret every minute of it. But
okay, so this is where we're going to separate pretty heavily, Ains. I really like The Witness, and I think The Witness has some of the more brilliant kind of moments of epiphany that I have experienced in a puzzle game. So I really love that part. I think this design, at least as hinted at by the trailer, where you've got these different puzzle types that can iterate on themselves and then at some point cross-pollinate with these different puzzles, along with, I don't know, super serious narrative voice acting in Puzzle Land. Sounds like a combination that could be great. I think Jonathan Blow as an individual comes across as a little full of himself in interviews and things like that, but I think the games he's put out there in the world are ones that I've enjoyed playing. So this went to the top of my list as something I'm interested in.
Nice.
As for whether he worked on it for a decade or not, I do know that immediately after the announcement, my timeline was full of designers that were coming out and saying, I put 50 or 100 puzzles into this game. I've worked on this for 5 years, or all these various things that you can always tell when people were under NDA and they don't have to be anymore, that there was some concentrated effort to build up a big old library of puzzles for this game. So I think this sounds exactly like what I want out of a game, and I'm excited to play it very soon. So I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum from you on this one, Ains.
Yeah, which I knew you would be, which is great. Yeah, it's awesome. I like the design and the aesthetic and the idea better than Witness, at least on first glance. So we'll see how it's executed. I forget what I was gonna say, but yeah, Travis, you pumped about this one or indifferent or?
Pumped? No, I love puzzle games. We don't get enough high quality ones. As you know, last year I dumped a whole bunch of time into the Talos Principle too. So
right.
I like puzzle games a lot, and this looks cool. Different type of puzzle game. Will be interesting to see.
Yeah,
if my brain works with this one as well as it did with Talos, but yeah, looks cool.
Okay. Well, the best part of The Witness is how well they can iterate on kind of common puzzle tropes and get you to a place where like, oh, I guess that is true, and I guess that does work for this puzzle type. And this looks like exactly that kind of. Let's see if we can bust out of the box and break your brain in interesting ways. So yeah, get excited, puzzle fans.
Bring it on. Let's go.
Order of the Sinking Star. Keep an eye on it. Let's go ahead and let's take a cut right here to get caught up on some super chats and some comments I want to call out. So let's run through them.
Dazochi 727 $5 super chat. Blizzard.
I think we already
did this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Next.
I'm not reading it again, Taozochi. You already got your pay. Shapeshifter 69. Nice. Offers a €2 super chat. Poodoo. That is, of course. Yeah. Well, you know what it is. It's Huttese.
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I mean,
but
what animals
Poodoo? Star Wars languages. What animal?
Yeah. What animals Poodoo are we talking about, Shapeshifter?
Yeah. Was it Bantha Poodoo? Is it just Poodoo in general? We don't know. Ains, Huttese is the language
is going on right now.
Huttese is the language that Jabba the Hutt speaks in Star Wars, and one of the known words in that Khan language is Poodoo, which means fodder or poop or crap or whatever, depending on the context.
You traditionally hear it as Bantha Poodoo.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Oh, okay.
A bantha is an animal in Star Wars. They're large.
I do know the bantha. Yeah.
They're like Snuggleuppagus.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right. I'm glad you guys are here because I would have been like Poodoo. All right. Moving on.
See, we can bring that value to your super chats, folks. Send them in. Travis and Rick got this.
I believe they're also quoting Sebulba because he shouts Poodoo when he loses the race in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
I mean, he loses it. He gets exploded.
Well, he doesn't explode. He slides like a sled across the sand, and then he goes Poodoo, and then that's the end of the race.
I do know that scene. Yes,
iconic scene. And we're gonna have
using that word too
back.
Much.
So hopefully we'll hear Sebulba say Poodoo and harken back to his days as a youth.
I'd like to think that old Sebulba is the actual rival that Ains was mentioning in that little description of the narrative.
It's not.
For the benefit of everyone, I'm going to go ahead and move us on.
I think it'll be like Rocky, where he's like the old, you got to be the champ now, that sort of thing. I hope it's like that.
Was actually a pretty good, that was pretty good voice right there.
Yeah. I love Rocky.
Thank you, Shapeshifter.
Machine 88, member for 14 months. Salute to everyone.
Salute
my friend.
Show respect to your.
Sorry, I was going to say one of our regulars. He also has a super chat.
Machine 88, $5 super chat. Which announcements are worse? Mega early, Elder Scrolls 6, but not actively worked on, or when we don't know how far along a game is, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
For me, the only thing I resent about the Beyond Good and Evil 2 announcements of the world is how seriously like the gaming press winds up taking them. And I understand that you're kind of locked into this was announced, this was a CGI trailer, these kinds of things, but it's pretty evident when there isn't an actual game there yet. You hope there will be one someday, but like Beyond Good and Evil 2 was never a thing. And I remember when those videos came out, it was all over every bit of my social media and my timelines. And it's like, guys, it's a rendered space pig. I understand that these are cool CGIs, but that's not a game yet. And it seemed unlikely that it would be a game. And here we are entering 2026, and Beyond Good and Evil 2 is probably no closer to fruition than it was when those videos were made.
Yep.
ES6 is just as bad. I mean, we knew when they did that flyover, this came at a point when there was a lot of critical feedback around like lack of follow-up to Skyrim. and just the Xbox kind of studios as the Bethesda announcement came around later, and it's just like, okay, we're going to show that Elder Scrolls 6 is coming, and you could just tell from the trailer. It's a short flyover nothing trailer. It shows literally nothing. And you're
it might as well say, we know we still own the IP. We'll probably make another one.
Yeah, it's just like there's nothing here. This is just, I don't even know why you would decide to do that.
Well,
it makes
the
no
reason
sense.
they decided to do it is because they wanted to just confirm what everybody already assumed, which is that they're working on a sequel, and also technically
but they weren't.
that flyover shot is the announcement that it's taking place in Hammerfell, which is a region that hasn't received much love in the Elder Scrolls universe. So I get the idea
but they
there.
Weren't working on it.
Well,
they literally Todd Howard has said they weren't working on it.
Yeah, of course they weren't working, but they were announcing that like it's gonna happen. And sometimes you make an announcement to staff up or just let people know, like, hey, we know that this is wanted and it's something we plan on doing. That was that trailer.
Honestly, this is when Bethesda had its own show at E3, right? I think this was to fill time. Yeah. Honestly,
I think so.
It was at the Bethesda show. I think I was at that E3. I might have been in the room when this was announced.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was. I think if I had to choose between the two, obviously, the one I like less is the one where a game is announced and stuff is shown, and they're not even planning on working on it. Apparently, like Elder Scrolls 6, like it's gonna be a game. It's just a matter of time.
That will come out. You might be dead, but that will come out.
Yeah. Beyond Good. Well, yeah, we all might be dead. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a game that I felt like was used as like a hype machine with like no intention of making the game. So I would say that one's worse. They're both pretty bad.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree. I think the Beyond Good and Evil 2 seemed evident at the time, just reading what people were saying at Ubisoft and otherwise, that this is like an aspiration. We maybe want to make a Space Pig game someday. And it's like, no, this is not. No, that's worse than Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be a game. We know we're going to make it, but the actual conveyor belt of games puts it as not really starting active development until 2029 or something.
Yeah. And that's even before getting into the details of like the creator of Beyond Good and Evil. He left the company a while ago. Like he's not even part of Ubisoft anymore.
Yeah, no. Even at the moment, it looked like it was trying to hold the creator. It was trying to satiate him in some way.
Yeah, and he went off like the deep end, didn't he? I think
no.
Ansel. His name's Ansel, right? Michael Ansel. I forget. There's some weird story with him after he left Ubisoft, but I forget what it is now. Anyway,
did he go to a medieval times restaurant?
No, nothing like that. No, I did a virtual legality on his departure. I know that.
And did you? I'm sure you both heard, but like, it was like a few months ago, right? We passed the point where the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser from 2018 is now older than it was compared to Skyrim's release in 2011. So there's more time. The teaser trailer's
older than. I like it.
Yeah, there's more time between now and when that teaser was first shown than when Skyrim released and the teaser was shown. Yeah, over 7.
Well, which Skyrim release? Because I got a Skyrim release this week for my beloved Switch 2.
They're pumping you full of Skyrim.
You can never have too many Skyrims.
No kidding. Thank you, Machine. He also says, just to answer this question, he says, this one's supposed to be a direct sequel to RE7 and 8. Yes, right. It is. In timeline, it is.
Well, so the character
in content,
it's Resident Evil 8. Yeah,
it's the Winters trilogy. It's going to be the 3 Winters games.
Yarp.
Just to be clear, at the end of 8 DLC, they say this story is done. So Rose and Ethan are done. It literally says that from Capcom.
I understand what it says, Ains. I'm telling you, the Winterses are in 9.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Winterses. I like that he said Winterses.
We also got a super chat for Lucius
Augustus Rex, $5 super chat. I see more people hating on Expedition 33 than I've seen people unreasonably glazing it. People are calling it, quote, quality slop, unquote. What the does that even mean? Unhinged. Yeah.
I mean, that's stupid. Yes.
I don't even know what is quality slop, actually. I'm interested to hear. I've never even heard of that.
That's only the highest grade ingredients in your slop. It's farm sourced. open range.
Like one of those bowl slop places,
I do not know.
Slop? Bowl
what
slop
in the
is
heck
a genre.
are you talking about?
Bowl slop is a term used to describe a growing number of restaurants that just want you to eat out of a bowl.
I love food in bowls.
Chipotle,
I love
Kava, and what have you.
I love proteins on carbs. It's my favorite method
of them. People
calorie
like
delivery.
It, obviously. People like it, but it's bowl slop, right? They want you to eat out of a bowl.
But we can't just add slop to everything. What are we talking about here? It's food in a
slop.
bowl.
Yeah, so slop.
But for the record, Qdoba is my bowl slop place, I guess.
Okay, he's a Qdoba man.
I am in the great coming Chipotle Qdoba wars. I am dressed in Qdoba regalia.
What bibimbap? Any bibimbap for you?
Yeah, bibimbap's good. Poke. I think it's all fits into a category bowl slop, but it's a term used on the internet to describe this phenomenon where they just want you to eat out of a bowl, and I think it's useful.
I hadn't heard that.
So
I hadn't.
I haven't heard that either. But like every culture on Earth has a carb base with protein in a bowl.
Yeah. There's also I went really deep into the terms for types of food. There's also something called wife chow, which is when your wife creates something out of all of the leftover ingredients in your refrigerator. It's fascinating, truly. Our culture is truly fascinating stuff.
I again, we've talked a lot about this. I don't want to harp on it, Lucius, but I would say, especially on my time, there's definitely people who are overly praising. I guess you can't overly praise. They can praise it as much as they want. But I see a lot more glazing than I do hating it. And I think the hating it is all, both are unreasonable, right? Like I think the hating's worse, but quality slop is a stupid phrase. We need to just move on from this. Some people love this game.
I'm so confused.
I do love that.
I saw more comments about like hating it and being like, oh, it's trash, boring game, doesn't deserve any of these awards on like just like the comment section, which is obviously where you go for all of your cool stuff. But
and
that's where you find the quality slop.
And I apologize for interrupting, Ains. All I was going to say was I do think that the valence here flipped a little bit after the sweep. So I think when it won all those awards at the Keeleys, you do see more of the kind of pushback to nothing deserves to be the highest awarded game. Certainly not a JRPG made from French folks and
nothing
baguettes.
Deserves to be the highest.
Yes.
There can't be a highest. They must all be tied.
Yes.
No one can have even one more award than any other game.
But I mean that like in 2025, there's a whole like branch of the internet that's like, no, everything is mid. Everything is not worthy of all of this acclaim. Certainly not anything with that much accordion music or baguettes. And so we're going to talk about it that way. And so I do think there is a valence flip a little bit, but the entire year of 2025, I've had people dropping in on my comments and otherwise and giving me their piece on Expedition 33 and why it saved them and their family and needs to be regaled as the best thing in interactive entertainment. So I do think both those states are wrong, but unfortunately, the pendulum swings pretty wide on Expedition 33 for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Divisive.
You know what's unhinged? It winning best RPG. That's unhinged. But
good RPG.
That is. It is.
I didn't say it wasn't. I just said it's not the best.
So there's a couple of things happening here, but one, is the category best RPG the best product at being a role-playing game, or the best product on this list that just managed to cross whatever threshold we put in there to let it be on this list, right? Because the argument is Expedition 33 is a better game than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I've heard that argument. I think that's wrong, but I can at least accept that it's a different type of game, and it could be better in somebody's eyes. It is not a better game at role-playing than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The notion is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's all subjective, of course. So,
yes.
Not crazy, just a different opinion.
Yeah, well, it comes down to definitions.
No, at a definitional level, you are not role-playing at the scope or scale in Expedition 33 that you are in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's not
your
even
opinion, yeah. It's a subjective statement, of course.
At some point, reality exists.
Yeah, it exists, and also opinions exist, which you have in this category. You can have a strong opinion, but it doesn't make it an objective opinion. It's not a thing.
I think we could sit on this for a long time.
There's also no objective description of what makes an RPG. There's also no objective description of what means good So even if you're trying to describe which one's good or better, that is also a subjective statement.
Okay, so yes,
just
we can
all
go
of
full on
this
postmodernist semantic garbage. If we want to go to academia, we can do that. But no, I think anybody that's realistically looking at which game is offering the better role-playing experience is going to see that more role-playing is afforded to you in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 than it is in Expedition 33.
By your definition of what role-playing is, sure.
Well, somebody has to define things.
Which is also subjective, yeah.
So are awards. So is reality. So is us sitting here. Fantastic.
Well, we're all sitting here. That's subjective. But...
Are we? Are we even on this? Are we on this program right now? Are we talking? Are we conveying ideas to one another? Yeah, what is real? Is Morpheus sitting just off camera?
It's possible. I don't know.
I didn't notice him over there until you said that. He's a creep. All right, we're moving on. Where are we at here? We're getting back to a few more announcements to go through. So Exodus is the next game from Wizards of the Coast, a sci-fi story-driven action game, which is a broad description, but I seem to see a lot of people saying they like this trailer, but I don't know how the game's actually going to turn out. I guess
I've talked about Exodus with you at length. If you go back to clips of this show, I've been looking forward to Exodus for a while. I hadn't heard that Wizards was picking up publishing, so that's news to me. But yeah, I think the only thing that I wasn't expecting on this is that it's a 2027 release date and not a 2026. But I think this will be cool.
Yeah, it's got some interesting stuff in the trailer for sure. So yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I
have this novel.
Ones... Oh, is it good?
Yeah, I mean it's heavy sci-fi. So if you don't have a taste for that or you find it difficult to read, it's not going to be for you. But it's got some interesting ideas. It's clearly much more invested in the kind of heavy sci-fi, speculative fiction landscape than most video games are. So I viewed Exodus when it was announced, and then as I followed along with the novel as the kind of true successor to Mass Effect. But we will see what the Mass Effect series winds up becoming and where it fits in the spectrum here. But I think Exodus is going to be awesome.
Looks cool.
Yeah, great. It's one of those ones where I really want to see gameplay. You know what I mean? I want to see what they're actually trying to do with it. But the trailer looks cool. In that vein, we got a tease for Warlock, which is the new official Dungeons and Dragons license game. And I just like to shout out that they use Tool for their trailer music, which automatically puts it near the top of the list. So
I like that you have your standards.
Yeah, come on, you got to. So no, that was really cool, and we'll see what this shapes up to be. So one of the biggest announcements, which I think seemed to get lost on a few people, but I think is starting to catch fire now, and it's a shame we don't have Dan here, of course, is Gang of Dragon, which is the new game from Nagoshi Studio. And if you're not familiar for whatever reason, like some people didn't seem to be, Toshihiro Nagoshi is the creator of Yakuza. So he left in 2023 or a couple years ago, founded his own studio, and this is his first game with his new studio. So if we've talked a ton about Yakuza on this show, and so this is one to get excited about. Awesome trailer too.
Yeah, I adore the Yakuza series. I adore it. I do think this story, this trailer, and the story of this studio is strange because to me it winds up feeling like we've got Yakuza at home. And I don't know why exactly you separate out to make your own version of the same series you just left. Maybe there were things that were binding him in some way at Sega that he didn't like and he wanted to be more violent or he wanted to take the series in a different direction. I can't speak to that. But I did look at this and say, that looks cool, but honestly, I trust RGG and the Yakuza series as it stands right now more than this new thing. So we'll see.
Okay. If you want to laugh, go back to the Game Awards YouTube channel and watch just the trailer for this game, because when Nagoshi Studio icon comes up, there's one dude in the audience who goes nuts, and you can hear him.
God, that was crazy. Dean and I looked at each
it's
other like
loud.
Somebody just had a freaking somebody's heart exploded in the audience. That's crazy.
It stood out right away, but you can still hear it even on the cut trailer they have up on their site, because I saw it this morning. Just wanted to ask you guys about this one. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Obviously, we've had a ton of Lego games.
Looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one looks to continue to expand the kind of capabilities of that Lego model. You know what I mean? Because they said
This is the Skywalker. This is the Skywalker saga sequel. Like this is
Batman.
That, yes. No, obviously it has nothing to do with Star Wars, but I mean that the version of the Lego games they made with Skywalker Saga was a new kind of concept for them.
Yes.
With this huge open world and all these mini stories and these things like that. So this is this for Batman. The only thing I am at all concerned about is you do see all the clips and everything from the various Batman movie entries, and I'm just not sure how they're going to play together in this like singular world. So I want to see exactly what that looks like. I don't want it to be a greatest hits of things from Dark Knight or Arkham or whatever as a feel.
Like
but
that's what it was.
Yes, it does kind of look like that.
Yeah.
It does.
I think
but
it's just going to be all the movies. That's kind of what it struck me as.
Yeah, no, it's got all the movies. It's got all the Arkham. It seems to have some stuff from Batman the Animated Series. I just don't want it to just feel like, oh, it's these things you remember from this other stuff that you liked. And so we'll see. We'll see how that winds up being, because that's the only thing that's kind of keeping my excitement for this project a little bit lower. So we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it looks great. And they talked about having a combat system similar to Arkham in this game, which
it looks like
could be really funny too, which is cool. Obviously, one of the other biggest announcements of the night was Tomb Raider. So we finally got to see what Crystal Dynamics, with the support of Amazon Gaming, have been working on. So there's 2 Tomb Raider games coming. Legacy of Atlantis is a reimagining, is what they're calling it, a reimagining of the original Tomb Raider that's coming next year in 2026, and then is to be followed by Catalyst, which is the new Tomb Raider they've been working on, which is going to come in 2027. I think so far these look great. I'm interested to see what a reimagining of the original looks like, but nice to see Tomb Raider kind of back at the forefront. I hope they deliver.
Yeah, I am one who really loves the rebooted Tomb Raider.
Me too.
And
Me too.
I was excited to hear the references to the reboot trilogy in what turned out to be the Catalyst teaser, because that means that they're continuing on with that version of Lara. I think that's cool. I think that's probably also what motivates them to go back and reimagine the Atlantis adventure in the way that they are doing. I think all of that is going to work great. I thought the coloration and the wonder and awe vibes in that Legacy of Atlantis trailer are exactly what I remember and love so much about the Tomb Raider series. So I think this is great news all around. I don't have a great reaction to the huge Amazon logo. I just not because I hate anything about Amazon, but just I feel burned a little bit about getting invested in some of the stuff that they've worked on in the past. But I love Tomb Raider. These look great to me.
Agree. Yeah, agree. So hopefully they shake out as well as I agree with you. The reboot series I really loved. So hopefully. We got a crazy trailer, which didn't even know what it was. And then it turned out to be Forest 3. Now, I haven't played these games. I know a few people who have. The reason I wanted to call this out is I believe, and I can go back and look, but Forest 3, out of all the trailers from the Game Awards, all the individual trailers that have shown, this is the most viewed one. So there is an audience for Forest that as an IP, but this one looks wild as hell. So I don't know really what the game shape is even going to take, but yeah, here it comes, I guess.
Now, I have a question. I'm going to expose my ignorance here.
Sure.
Are there 2 other Forests before this, or is this some kind of indie dev joke about the title?
No, there are 2 other Forest games, yes.
Okay. Because I couldn't tell. Because you're right. The trailer was crazy. And I was like, well, maybe you just name it 3. And that's part of the... You guys missed the first 2. So, no, I don't know anything about this series. It doesn't look like it's for me. But... yeah, it's surprising to me that it's the most watched, if that is in fact the case. I would have assumed it was
I think Divinity might be. I just remember. But it's if you look, it's got nearly 500,000 views, which is way more than a lot of the games we've talked about. So there is an audience here. But I don't know much about the Forest games. I can't talk about them intelligently. So
I've played a little bit of, I think, the first Forest game.
Okay.
They're cool.
Wasn't it like a survival? Yeah, like a survival
game, right? I want to say survival horror, but that has a different definition. So I'll say survival.
Is it a survival crafter?
Horror.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, I'm interested in that one though. Looks cool.
Yeah, it looks crazy. Forest and Sons of the Forest. Thank you. One's Own Grief for calling that out. I forgot the name of the second one. Diablo 4 we touched on, Lord of Hatred. It's April 28th for the expansion. Obviously, as we said earlier, the Paladins now, you can play now if you pre-order. And they some people miss, which they made sure to call out. There is a second new class coming with the launch of the expansion as well.
Yep.
So rumor is it could be the Amazon returning from Diablo 2, but I don't know.
I will tell you that the front screen, like when you pre-order the expansion, which I had to do to get my Pally, obviously, says something about the darkness of Sanctuary being manifested in the new class. So I don't know what that means.
I do.
You know? Okay.
Good, Travis.
I sure do.
Go ahead and say it.
Could be anything.
We don't want to get Travis fired.
Don't we?
No.
Okay, well, we'll obviously talk more about that, but anyway, really cool. We also got a new trailer, not that we really needed one, but a new trailer for 007 First Light, which I think we're all excited for. I know, Hogue, you said it's one of your most anticipated games.
It is, absolutely. Now, I don't know whether it's more anticipated or less anticipated with the additional Lenny Kravitz, but he didn't sound super enthused about being in the voice booth from the clip that we got of him, so it'll be fine one way or the other, but this game still looks cool. I love James Bond. I think IOI does great stuff with Hitman. I think those two flavors can go great together. I guess I would prefer it if we didn't just cast celebrities in roles that they may be female suited to. But whatever gets the game actually made is fine with me.
Yeah. We got Lords of the Fallen 2 official trailer. So really like the new Lords of the Fallen. So this was their gothic trailer for this one. It includes seemingly a daughter or young female protagonist that you play as to some degree as well. So we'll see how well that one is. I think that you reviewed it, I believe, Travis, if I recall, the new Lords of the Fallen, and I played it quite a bit as well, and it got better over time. Like it launched, it was a bit rough around the edges, but like now, if you go back to it, it's a pretty damn great game. They've added a ton to it, so I hope they take those.
Had a killer idea. Flying between two different realms. I think it pushed the tech a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see how they've resolved those issues and expanded upon the idea. Very cool idea for a game, though.
Agree. Yeah, it was neat. We got a new trailer for Soros. Obviously, Rahul Kohli coming out and talking about it. This is my most anticipated game for 2026 so far. Releasing April 30th. Nothing really too new to show there, but it looks fantastic. I can't wait for Housemarque's new one there.
Well, that is a delay, right? That was what was announced?
I think it was supposed to be February originally. Yeah, I think it was earlier in the year. So now it's April 30th. Yep. We got a game called No Law, which is the new game from Krafton Publishing. So PUBG guys and Neon Giant called No Law. It looks almost like a fast-paced cyberpunkish FPS.
Looks like a goofy game.
Yeah, it looked kind of like crazy, but yeah.
Well, the trailer said from the people that made The Ascent, right? So that was already kind of a weird cyberpunk game.
Yep.
It was sci-fi, but it was isometric. The Ascent. I reviewed that one. It was
an action RPG. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the same about The Ascent. It was okay.
It was okay. I think I gave it a 6. I gave it a 6 or 7. I can't remember. But with big announcement, not for me, but I'm sure for people, is that Total War is combining with Warhammer 40K. So Creative Assembly making a 40K universe game.
That's going to be freaking sick.
That's a big one. Yeah. Big one.
That'll work.
Yep.
Yeah. I
can't believe it didn't happen sooner, to be honest with you.
I was just going to say, it's one of those you see and you're like, why hasn't that happened before? What the hell? Like,
it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So cool. Obviously we mentioned earlier Ace Combat 8. Wings of, is it Thev?
Yep. It's just Thief. I don't know why. Okay. I don't ask why on these things, but yes, it's the Wings of Thief. It's like, that's
Wings
not a word. Why are you making people say that?
Everyone's just going to call it AC8 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But so it looks great, though. I know, as we talked earlier, people love those games. It's got its own core community for Ace Combat, so good to see.
Yeah, it looks like it has some kind of first-person walking around the carrier wing commander style setup. So it looks absolutely like what I would want out of this. Go kill it. You guys with your soap opera nations at war in Star Wars planes that have an infinite number of missiles. This is my vibe. Go get it. Ace Combat 8.
Heck yeah. Yeah. New trailer for Phantom Blade Zero from S Games. So I previewed this one last year. I remember talking about it. So this is an action RPG or action game in the vein of more like Ninja Gaiden than it is a Souls-like. I'll remind everyone again because people keep asking, is this a Souls-like? And they're very clear it's not.
Well,
new trailer, good trailer. Go ahead.
I thought the trailer was awesome. I do think that when I started watching this trailer, my brain does go, oh, okay, it's another Souls game. I can watch this, I can see what's happening, but okay, it's another Souls game. I can evaluate. And then you watch more and more of it, and it's like, okay, that seems like it's probably more of a DMC action type game.
It is.
And by the time it gets to the end of the trailer, you're like, oh, Phantom Blade. These are the guys that are adamant that they're not a Souls game. It's like, okay, fine, but the graphic settings that you picked, the way that you are depicting your combat, the way that you open your trailers is why people think you're a Souls game. Like that is happening because of the way that you are presenting this game. I'm happy it's not. I am over the Soulsification of most action adventure type games, but I blame them more than I blame the people on this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're building on some of the things Souls does well, the boss battles, the kind of cinematic nature of those and things like that. But yeah, I got to play it last year, like I said, and it plays really well. It does play more like a DMC or Ninja Gaiden type game. And it doesn't have the same mechanics, but it's cool, man. And they're a really cool studio-esque game. They reached out again, and they're very communicative, and I wish them the best with this release. I think it's going to be really good.
I think the trailer looked great.
This
is Phantom Blade Zero.
Blade Zero, nice.
Yeah.
By the way, I looked it up. Hogue Thieves is a fictional city in the.
Oh, I knew it was a location. Yeah. Like you could tell it was a location. I don't remember all the random fictional locations that they put in these games, but I mean, when you put it on the title, when it's going to be sitting on a shelf, it's like that's just hard to say in your brain. You don't know.
Wings of
You don't know how to say it, and I always find that to be a problem when you're talking about anything but from Ace Combat 8 to fantasy books at your Barnes & Noble.
We got two more big announcements to close out. So we got the Mega Man 1 we already talked about. So Dual Override coming in 2027. We got a little bit of gameplay from it. Again, like I said, this is seems to be a big audience for Mega Man returning, which is great. So I hope they nail it. But we'll see more about that. And then they ended on to Keely's point. You would think this sounds like something that would be very big to end on, and yet all the feedback I've seen anecdotally was, "Why did you end on that?"
It looks a little weird.
This is a terrible ender.
Yeah, so High Guard, if you didn't see it, High Guard, it's a world premiere. This is the Wildlight Entertainment, which was founded by a bunch of both EA and Respawn devs that did Titanfall and Apex Legends. It's coming, he touted as well, it's coming next month. So it's coming January 26th and is free to play. It looks like a hero shooter type of PvE, PvP game. But the feedback I've seen very little interest, even from my group that does shooters and everything, are like, this doesn't look very good. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. But
this is probably one they should have just stealth dropped like they did Apex. Because it looks a little... Maybe it makes more sense when you play it, riding around on a horse.
Maybe it doesn't show well.
Cool. Yeah, it could just not show well. I mean, the team is very talented. I don't know how much money and time they've had into it, but destructible environments, really fast combat, mounts, apparently. Like, all that sounds cool theoretically. So this might just be one of those where people play it and they're like, oh, it's actually good.
Yeah.
I get why
I'm sure it'll play well, right?
Yeah, I think that's why they put it in last, is just the pedigree of the studio, the fact that they're making a big shooter that's probably going to be hugely popular.
Let's be honest though, he put it in last because he sells that slot and somebody paid the money for it.
$3 million. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, we'll know in a little over a month. So I do like that it's coming out soon. We'll get to try it. Obviously, we'll talk about it after release. But yeah, it seemed to land a little flat, especially compared to some of the other bigger announcements at the show. So, but anyway, that wraps us up on the Game Awards, gents. Some stuff I'm definitely excited for. In the coming years, all the way to 2033 when Fate of the Old Republic releases, if I'm still alive. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it was a little better show than last year. I still have my complaints with the show, but we've talked about that. So we do have a super chat been sitting out from Lucius. Let's get to
Lucius Augustus Rex, $5 super chat. RPGs having focus on role playing is a very Western perception. No one would say a game like Metaphor or Persona aren't RPGs or shouldn't win best RPG.
I didn't say Expedition 33 wasn't an RPG. I said in the way that the Game Awards is framed, when we are putting together a list of best RPG, we have to decide whether we are grading it on this is the best game that made it into this list, or this is the best exemplar of the framing convention we are using here. And I don't know that Jeff is very clear on that. I don't know that anybody else is very clear on that. So this
I know
winds
that he
up
isn't clear on that, but
this
also
this winds up being what's my favorite game that made it past the threshold on this list. Like that's how these are all kind of reviewed on. And I understand Expedition 33 winning on that score. I've already said I would give it to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on that score as well, but I am clearly in the minority on that. That's fine. But when Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is on that list and we're evaluating what is the best role-playing game qua role-playing, then we have to look at the question, and nobody's really talking about whether or not we did that with respect to Expedition 33. Expedition 33 is a role-playing game. I'm willing to grant that, Lucius. I don't think it's the best role-playing game on that list. I think I've been clear on what is.
Right. And
yeah,
I think
it's all definition.
I think his argument is that the definition of an RPG is loose and undefined, which I would say is good or bad depending on your perspective or the context, and certainly it makes agreeing upon strengths and weaknesses difficult, but I think people just have varying opinions here on what they consider an RPG or what they like about an RPG or what points are important to them and which points aren't. Some people really like the stat screens and the loadouts. Some people really like choices and decision making. They see that as like a really important part of RPGs. And I'm, no wrong answers. I wish there were. I wish we had harder definitions on this, but the truth is we just don't.
Yeah, and they are clearly very different RPGs, so I think that's part of the struggle as well. So, anyway, Lucius, thank you for hanging out and for the super chats today, my friend. All right, let's go ahead.
I have a friend who thinks it's not an RPG unless it's turn-based, by the way, which I think is insane.
It's just silly. All right, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping up here. So just from an SG side, a few reviews to check out this week. We do have an early impressions of Moonlighter 2, which is in early access right now from Brian. You can check that out. Next week here on Bitcast, we'll have a little bit of our special. So the three of us talking about some categories, our favorite games of the year, some other categories we'll talk about, just have a fun conversation with, reflecting on 2025. And then the following week, we'll be doing our SG Honors as well, which is our entire crew at SG doing our kind of yearly celebration, not really awards, but more celebration of different things about gaming in the year. So keep an eye for that. Travis, pass over to you first this week. Show me your wares, sir.
My wares.
See, does Expedition say show me your wares? No, it does not.
True.
I honestly don't know.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
It's over. We found it.
They certainly don't do a weird point right in somebody's face like this.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Show me your wares.
No, exactly. Show me your wares.
Show me wares. What have I got to promote? Oh, I played a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles VR game last week, and I wrote a preview about it. I cannot believe it took us this long to have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle VR game, but it's pretty sick. 4 players running around rooftops and slicing things up and eating pizza and hitting on female reporters. I mean, this is what we live for, right? So pretty cool. You watch that preview. What else? Destiny review going live probably tomorrow in some form. Video on Tuesday or Wednesday would be my guess. Okay. And that's my last review this year. My last preview, I think, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the year. And next year I have a whole bunch of cool stuff lined up in January that I'll be able to talk about then. You watch me play Blood in the Clock Tower online. I don't know. That's all I got.
You did forget to tell us what was it? What the second class in Diablo is.
Oh, I did forget that. Hogue, show me your wares.
I'm looking forward to your Diablo drops this coming week. You said we're gonna get some Travis takes on the future Diablo.
I think the interview is embargoed until tomorrow, and then I actually don't know what we're doing with that interview because, full disclosure, interview pieces do terrible numbers online, and so
that's a shame.
People don't like to read.
So when we do interviews, I'm always like, okay, I can't just put the interview on online because nobody will read it and it'll just not do anything. So they're like news stories that we can post where like I take clips from it and use it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes those aren't immediate enough, or we have to eat around the good stuff that we can't talk about, like with the stuff we actually know about the story. And so I'm kind of in a point where I almost might not publish anything based on the interview, in which case I'll just probably appear on shows and talk about stuff that I'm allowed to talk about.
You can just send me a signal for what I need to know. It's fine.
Exactly. I'll DM you and that'll be my official coverage for IGN. I don't know. It's hard to cover these things because developers so badly want to talk to media people and like do interviews. And I would say IGN turns down like at least 90% of them just because it's like nobody reads them. They're just not good content for us. So
it's a shame because I think if more people did read them, it would provide a lot more insight and context into how games are made and some of the nuances around them that people don't understand.
I 100% agree. And I actually like doing interviews, and they're also easy pieces to publish because you just, transcribe it and do a little editing and you're done. But yeah, they do absolutely terrible numbers. And so a lot of my editors are just like, yeah, unless it's something where we know for sure that there's like a rabid fan base looking for more information, like you just can't justify spending time on it, unfortunately. So
okay. All right. Hogue, what you got, my friend?
My wares are limited, gentlemen. I spent most of the week this past week taping things for Last Stand Media. So you've probably seen me in a couple of places, if you are a fan of theirs, already talking about things like the Warner Brothers merger acquisition and the games that I'm playing with Brad at Summon Sign. I also taped a big, long video on Game of the Year awards for them. So that'll be going up at some point in the future because they essentially work on getting all their tapes for the holiday period done essentially right now and then kind of put them out over time. So you can look out for me there because I spent, I don't even know, 8 or 10 hours taping for them this week. Otherwise, I'm looking to get back into the virtual legality swing of things and then probably, haven't committed to a time slot yet, but probably if you would all like the old Thabto format, the two Hogues are better than one format that we were working on our channel, my brother is coming out of his year-long hibernation to talk about debating his top 10 games of the year list with my top 10 games of the year list. So we'll be doing that again, hopefully next weekend or so, maybe even before I'm on the Bitcast again, but pretty soon. So keep your eyes out. When I announce that, it'll be on Twitter or on the community posts on my channel.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Well, audience, community, everyone checking this out post, thank you very much as always for hanging out with us and the generosity. Great time of year to get caught up on the games that I'm sure each of us have missed because there are way too many for us to play. So I hope everyone's getting some time to do that this time of year, enjoying the content, enjoying the Game Awards, enjoying all of those things. So we'll be back next week to talk about some of our favorites and some of the other kind of funny things that happened this year in reflection. Other than that, enjoy your week, and we will see you next Sunday. Till then.
Go Lion.